WrestleMania 40 is beginning to take shape. We talk about all of it and more right after this. You are tuned in to We Book It Podcast, and I am here with all of my awesome co-hosts. They are one of the ways that make the show happen. We have in the building Tank. We got Fritos.
What up?
We got the coach in the building.
Bang, bang.
And then rising up from the deep, dark depths of Down Under, from Death Valley and all darkness, we got our man, Big Daddy C. I am your host. Oh my gosh.
It was a good mess up, though. That was a good mess up.
Yeah, I know. I sounded a lot like Rhea Ripley when that, she's always talking about Hirsch and I'm going to be doing this and you're the new, like, because she's from Australia. You guys didn't catch it. You didn't like it. Whatever. Skip you guys. Anyways, we are here back again. I am your host, Virgil. Thank you for tuning in to episode number 4 of the We Book It podcast. And I cannot express to you guys enough. First and foremost, thank you to every single person that has subscribed to our channel, every single person that tunes into our content, every single person that tunes in to anything on the In My Opinion network. It's a blessing to have you. And yeah, man, we're gonna keep going. We are literally 11. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 9, 10. I really messed that up. Anyways, we're 11 away from reaching our goal. We got 2 weeks to WrestleMania, and we have a goal of reaching 100 subscribers. So if you are new to the channel, if this video just popped up, please like, subscribe, and share the channel. We appreciate it. Now, with that being said, my esteemed co-host, how are you all doing this evening?
I'm doing good. Good to be back with you guys once more for episode 4.
I'm splendid.
I was going to say, anybody else going to answer?
Hey, doing good, man. Doing good. Just glad to be back here.
Goodness gracious.
Do best. Talk about wrestling.
Bingo.
Tank, how you feeling, brother?
Feeling good, man. Tired.
Yeah. I feel that. You know what? We all, outside of Coach, but then again, Coach has been out in the sun all day, but we all should have a bit of a hangover, even though I only drank soda, because this happened. Yeah, you see it right there. Who the heck is that person photobombing our photo right there, walking by?
I thought you guys were going to Photoshop me in. What the hell?
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, it was Hook. Hey, that was Hook.
Anyways, folks, this is last night. WWE came to Springfield, and what a show it was. Me, Tank, Big Daddy C, and Fritos all in the building together. We got to do more group outings, guys. I've been trying to tell the fellas, AEW is on the way. They're coming to Peoria, so it might be a good idea for us to maybe all buy tickets and head out to watch Collision. And I think it's the Collision and it's not Dynamite tapings. I think it's Collision and what's the other one?
Rampage.
Oh, and Rampage, yeah. So Collision and Rampage taping. So I mean, like I said, I think it still be a good time, obviously. And even if the matches or content sucks, we can at least talk about it, So with that being said, guys, just like we talked about before, WrestleMania is now beginning to take shape. We are just 2 weeks away from the granddaddy of them all, the show of shows, the reason why many of us have started liking wrestling in the first place, the biggest show of all time, WrestleMania 40. And so right now we're looking at the different match card, and I want to get your guys' opinion. When we first started this show 3 weeks ago, we all talked about the matches we were excited for. So now I'm going to ask you guys again, circle back around. But before that, I'm going to list off the matches for you to help you out. So we got The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins to determine the stipulation for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. We obviously have the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. We have the World Heavyweight Championship match, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Then we have the WWE Women's Championship match, Io Sky versus Bayley. Then we have the Women's World Championship match, Rhea Ripley versus Big Time Becky Lynch. We have the WWE Intercontinental Championship match, Gunther, Sami Zayn. We have the WWE United States Championship match. We have Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Then we have the six-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship, where Finn Balor and Damian Priest will put their titles on the line against 5 other teams that we saw on SmackDown that began to take shape, as well as on Raw, with DIY picking up a win, with the Street Profits on SmackDown winning. Who else do we have win this week, guys, on the shows?
Awesome Truth also won, and I can't remember I'm drawing a blank on who the third. The New Day.
Oh yeah, and the New Day will be in there. We got to figure out the New Day. Could we have? I won't do that. We'll talk about that later. But we also have then Jay Uso versus Jimmy Uso, and then we have LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I'm still expecting there to be more matches added. I definitely think the Kabuki Warriors are going to end up putting their World Tag Team titles on the line against Naomi and Bianca Belair. And I think Jade Cargill will figure into WrestleMania somehow, some way. I don't know how, but I can't see them not putting her on that show, especially since she signed to SmackDown this last week. So out of those matches that I have read off to you, what do you guys suspect? And we'll go in order. We'll go Fritos. I'm sorry. We'll go Tank, then we'll go Fritos, and we'll go Coach, then we'll go Big Daddy C. Let me know, guys. Talk to me. What matches are you guys hyped about? What do you think will be your favorite match off the card? What has the highest expectations?
I think obviously you got to go with personally I mean Cody versus Roman. I don't care about the stipulation. I don't care what's going to happen with that. I think there's so much potential with it. I think you can go either way. You can go night one, they end up winning, Cody and Seth, that is, and no Bloodline for night 2. But, I mean, let's be honest, Bloodline's going to show up in some capacity no matter what for night 2. So I still take that over any card. But I do have to say now, after going to the live event, there's a couple other matches that I'm more hyped about, and that's the Jay Uso and Jimmy. Based on crowd reaction, and gotta go with I'm really excited about this match too, man. Really excited about it.
What say you, Fritos?
Of course, I'm excited for the Cody Roman, the title match, night 2. The one that I'm kind of really looking for, I think it's going to steal a show, is going to be the tag team. I mean, the tag teams in general and during WrestleMania have a huge history with ladders, tables, chairs. Oh my. Mm-hmm. And just with all those teams joining, and maybe a mystery team that I know we've talked about in our group chat possibly coming back. With
go ahead and spill the beans, Fritos.
Spill the beans. Well, Matt Hardy was at Charlotte last week for Raw, taking pictures and stuff, and then his contract's up. So everyone's thinking, oh, Hardys are coming back for another surprise WrestleMania appearance. If they bring anyone back, I'd be happy if they brought the Dudleys. Just for the whole ECW feel with Philly, that history, that'd be fun.
Sure.
But either way, whoever they bring, it's going to be a fun match. There's going to be blood, guts, gore, broken bones, broken tables, ladders falling everywhere. It's going to be a fun match.
Sure. Do you guys want the Hardys or the Dudleys to come back and be a part of that match?
I think the Dudleys, because, I mean, it's in Philadelphia, ECW. I think that makes the most sense. And, I mean, as much as I do love the Hardys, they've already done this before. They had that surprise entrance. I think it would be more of a shock and awe factor if it was the Dudleys.
It'd really be a shock and awe if it was Edge and Christian, right?
Man.
Yeah. So, what about you, Coach? What match are you super excited for?
Well, I mean, I kind of agree with what Tank and Frito said with not only obviously Cody and Roman's match and the tag match. I said this 3 weeks ago, and I'm still sticking to it. I'm looking forward to Io Sky versus Bailey just because of the storyline that they're building there. And now you're including Bianca and Naomi involved in it as well. I'm curious to see how that's going to go. Like when the match happens, are Bianca and Naomi going to come out and be in Bailey's side? Because Bianca gave a great promo Friday night on SmackDown about how the only reason why Bailey is nice now is because everyone's turning against her and she's trying to win people back. And I thought that's one of those times where the baby faces learned from the heels' tactics and they're not buying it. And I think that's just good storytelling right there. So I'm just curious to see how that's going to play out at WrestleMania.
Ooh, look at Coach giving you some character analysis right there. Character
You
breakdown
know
for Miss
That's
Bianca
deep.
Belair. That is deep. I think that looking at her character arc, I think it's time for her to turn to the bad side. I think it's time for her to stop being the Miss Pride of Tennessee and Knoxville and all this other stuff. And I mean, yeah, she's an athlete, but I think she got an edgier side too. And I want to see more of that attitude come back out of her, especially since she can fill the role of Mercedes Moné, which we'll get to her later on. Where I loved when she was Sasha Banks that she had the attitude, even when she was when she was a face. She still had the attitude like, I know I'm still better than all of you. You know, like I said, and I really want Bianca to start talking her stuff, man. Talk your ish. Like, you know, like embrace the fact that you have dominated this division, both Raw and SmackDown side, since you came. I mean, multiple time Raw Women's Champion, multiple times SmackDown Women's Champion. And now, like I said, I mean, obviously, like I said, they call them world title and women's side and WWE undisputed title, but still, I want to see her go dark. I'm tired of seeing people, you know what I'm saying, like I said, just have this cookie cutter image about her, you know, and things like that. So I'm excited for Bianca Belair to turn heel and to have a heel run, cut some awesome promos, like I said, beat people up, because you know she gets the thing that makes her believable is I want to see her talk that stuff, but I already know she can back it up in the ring. So I don't worry about what she's gonna do in the ring and things like that. I just need I need to see them heel promos, and I'm really hoping her and Montez Ford both turn heel at the same time, and like literally just have each other's back, and just like I said, and they like they break this whole the pride thing up, and like I said, and let trade Bobby over to Raw, and then keep what's the name on SmackDown, keep Dox and Tez on SmackDown, and then let them run loose, and let Bailey be the face this year, and let Bianca be the heel. I think a face Bailey will be a very good, very, very, very good baby face in opposition against a heel Bianca Belair. And then like I said, and then let Tez and Dogs feud a little bit, and then let Montez Ford try to crack into that US title picture. What do you guys think?
I'm right there with you on Tez and Bianca turning heel together. I mean, it makes the most sense since especially they have that new reality show that on Hulu and everything. And also out of in the Street Profits, I think Tez has the more potential out of the two for a singles run. And he would probably benefit from turning heel, because I liked the Street Profits when they turned heel for that brief bit, but they were just so dang popular that they had to turn them back face.
Right.
And same with Bobby Lashley. Like you can't hate Bobby Lashley, even if they tell you, no, you're supposed to boo him. It's like, no, it's Bobby Lashley. I want to cheer for him because he's awesome. And
for sure.
That kind of messed up I think the storytelling, but that also brought back Karrion Kross and AOP. So maybe that was a blessing in disguise for him. I don't know. It's just, I really liked the aggressive Street Profits before the kind of the party animal Street Profits.
Sure. All right, see, what match are you looking forward to the most? What's your favorite match off the card?
For me, I'll have to go with the main event tag match for night one, Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. I think there's a lot of potential there. We haven't seen Rock wrestle like a full match, much less a main event match, since his match with Cena at WrestleMania 29, I believe, where he lost the title to Cena and got injured. So that was the last time we really saw him in a main event. I know he wrestled that 9-second match against Eric Rowan. In the words of the great Bourbon Iceberg, we don't count that. Right. So, but to see like these four guys, like four of the top guys in the business, three of the top guys in the business, as well as a legend to the caliber of The Rock, be in this type of match. So it's definitely big time. So I'm anxious to see, how The Rock does in the ring after so many years of not wrestling, and to see how well he works with Roman, and then to see how he works against Seth and Cody, since he's never worked in the ring against them. So I'm really anxious to see how that works out and to see what it sets up for night two, for the main event of night two. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think that story has just such potential. And like we said before, and we've talked about this, I don't want to beat a dead horse on this topic, but we don't really know what's going to happen Saturday night. We all assume we know what's going to happen Sunday night, but we have no idea of what's going to happen on Saturday night. I mean, like I said, and that could play a big part in us trying to assume how the Sunday match goes. So, I mean, like I said, it's just that you pick them, and that's the beauty in wrestling. Like I was talking to my son as we was at the live event last night, and I was like, the beauty in wrestling is you don't know who's gonna win. That's when you really can buy in. That's when you're really like every single count, every single false finish, everything matters more because you're like, God, like, oh my goodness, like, I mean, is he actually gonna win? Is he actually gonna pull this off? Is Cody gonna hit a Cody cutter on the Rock and then pin him, or is the bloodline gonna beat up on the Rock after the match if they lose, or like what's gonna happen, or is Rock gonna turn the next night? Like we're all waiting for that ball to drop and for us to see exactly what happens. But I mean, like again, you just never know. And I mean, kudos to them because they helped us buy into what WrestleMania 40 can be. Again, WrestleMania is taking shape. And we're all really excited about what they're doing because it's a lot of good matches, a lot of good match quality. I would say for me, I'm going to go Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso is still the match I'm looking forward to the most because I can relate. I feel like Jey Uso is so relatable in the sense of you have a deep family. You have a deep family tree. You have, your rivalries. You've been fighting your brothers and your cousins all your life, whether you wanted to or not. And you've always been the youngest and you've always felt like you had something to prove. And then you go out on your own and you become a tag champ with the enemy nonetheless. And then on top of that, like I said, you get all this fame, all this fortune, and they know you now by your own name, not by the name given to you from your family. And you make a name for yourself and you're successful. And I just think that that's so cool. And I could totally relate to that. So in that sense, I'm really looking forward to that match. I'm really looking forward to seeing Jay knock the yeet out his ass because I know what's going to happen.
Yeet.
Yeet. Yeet.
Speaking of yeet, Goldberg yeeted all over Asuka. And we have to...
Say that again.
Well, it's not really a pause because he's referencing a woman, so I'll let him pass on this one.
But no, that's
still no.
Whoa.
No.
You can't pause a yeet on a woman. Come on, guys. That was no. Y'all not finna do this to me. as a host, that's a really good segue to the next topic. Don't y'all even do that to me. Don't you even. Anyways,
hey, Tanky's got the Cena shovel there to bury somebody.
And he's all over. I mean, takes a Cena fan, I guess, to misspell Asuka, but I guess we're just gonna roll with that.
Oh shoot, I spelled it wrong. I did totally did. Hold on, wait a minute.
First you yeet, now you misspell.
Wait a minute. It's
You
AS.
miscalculated the yeet.
Well, considering how Goldberg pronounced her name, Mike probably didn't spell it as wrong as Goldberg pronounced it.
Yeah.
No, Mike actually,
Is the Asuka how you spell like this?
it's like ASUKA. ASUKA.
Jeez Louise. Hold on.
Thank you for joining our podcast on Virgil trying to spell a name right.
Oh man.
Today we're going to give him the name Asuka.
Actually, I don't blame you though, because it is a very it does sound like AUSKA. So I give you a pass.
Yeah.
Thank you. Please. This hosting thing. This hosting thing ain't as easy as you think, Fritos, but you're gonna get your shot, and I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be on you. I'm gonna be on you whole time.
That's why
All that yeet.
Yeah.
He's gonna yeet all over you, Fritos.
He's gonna yeet all over you.
Whoa, hang on, easy there. I just finished the Dan Schneider documentary there. It's still touchy here, guys. He's up
wrestling
there.
pod. Wrestling.
Yeah,
pod.
let's focus back up. Focus back up.
All right,
Focus back up.
Different topic, different
There
day.
was some wrestling going on back then.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, cut that out. You can cut that part out, Mike. My bad.
No, it's totally staying. I'm leaving that in. All right.
Damn.
Big Daddy C, go ahead and hook us up. Tell us what Goldberg had to say about Asuka.
Okay, so I was doing some research here. There's an article on CagesideSeats.com, written by Mr. Kane A. Knight. It was March 21st, 2024. So basically, Goldberg was on a podcast, Tim Green, Nothing Left Unsaid. He was being bitter about WWE booking Asuka in 2017 to beat his famous undefeated streak that he had in WCW in 1998. So basically, Goldberg, he didn't think it was a coincidence that Asuka beat his streak after he returned in WWE in late 2016, nor was it a coincidence that every wrestler stole his signature move. Oh, great. So his quote, "Will a girl beat my winning streak, beat my undefeated streak? Yeah, I can't even remember. Asuka is her name." So basically, the way he pronounced it was ASOOKA. Basically, some Japanese girl, and they touted her as being the one to have the longest winning streak. And it just so happened that it culminated when I got there, right? And then it just so happened that every single wrestler uses the spear in their moves, right? Pretty ironic that happened when I got there, right? So that's how they do it. And then he continued, basically saying he blamed Triple H for it and saying that Triple H didn't like him. He's like, the fact that I didn't get along with Paul Levesque, which is Vince McMahon's son-in-law, I think had everything to do with it when I got there. And then he was going back to his time in WWE in 2003, talking about his tension with Triple H on Raw was real. He's like, I think a lot of that on-screen bad blood between Hunter and myself was real. I wanted to rip his face off.
Wow.
So yeah, that was some quotes from that podcast and from this article here. So doesn't surprise me. Goldberg being bitter. Seems him and Mr. Bret Hart have a lot in common in that regard. So yeah, Goldberg's just being an ass as he normally does. I'm like, dude, like your time came and went. Like, let these women do what they do, man. Like the women's revolution in wrestling today is crazy. Like it's miles better than what it was back in the early 2000s and the 90s when all all the women were just eye candy outside of Lita, Victoria, Ivory, Trish. So this current era of women's wrestler is miles better than what it was back then. So I'm like, you can't hate on what they got going on now. The fans love it. They love the superstar. They love them. Asuka was over when they gave her that streak. Like, it's just what it was. It ended, but like, dude, you had your time in another company. So you can't blame.
And then the second time in this company.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't.
And then a third time in this company as well.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you can't blame Triple H, for wanting to put someone over. I'm like, it worked. It's not like the fans were booing Asuka, during the streak. Like, no, they loved it. So
listen here, guys. And this may end up being a small mini rant. Nobody feels sorry for Goldberg.
Nope.
Goldberg made millions and millions of dollars. Goldberg, like a lot of guys from that WCW time, was his own issue. Like I said, I hold Goldberg kind of almost in the same vein as the Ultimate Warrior, in the sense of he was the top guy, but he always looked behind his shoulder because he was worried somebody was trying to stab him in the back with the knife. And Ultimate Warrior and Goldberg had a lot of similarities in the fact that they were muscle guys, didn't really do a lot in the ring. They had their moves, they had their stuff, they did what they did. I mean, and a lot of it had to do with them fighting back at the end, like taking a butt kicking for a few minutes, or in Goldberg's case, like when he was crushing people and he went on that 100+ undefeated streak, he basically was just, pile driving through guys, and stuff like that. So, and but I mean, it's important to note that there's two sides to the wrestling business. And the first side to the wrestling business is obviously the side, the fans that we do get to see. And like I said, it's the stuff we're privy to. But then there's a bunch of backstage stuff, and a lot of it is either hearsay or one side of the story, and it never gets addressed by both sides and things like that. And we just live in this realm of the possibility of, so-and-so went on so-and-so's podcast and said this about this guy. So-and-so went on this podcast, said this about that guy. And you know what? Honestly, a lot of times this stuff comes out in bitterness. Goldberg is bitter. He put over Roman Reigns and never got his win back. He never got his proper send-off from WWE. He did the job for Roman Reigns to try to make Roman Reigns look good, and he never got his proper send-off. And so, therefore, he's bitter. But I tell you somebody that's more bitter than Goldberg, or Oldberg in a lot of people's minds, and that's Bret Hart. And Bret Hart wastes no time talking trash about how trash Goldberg was in the ring, how trash he was as a promo, how trash he was as a person in general. So, again, everybody got something to say. Everybody has an opinion. That's actually why you're here sitting here watching us, because we got opinions too. But Goldberg just got to shut up, man. He is a blessed dude. Like, nobody feels sorry for you. Oh, they didn't give me my proper send-off. I was a big name in the business back in 98. I mean, like, dog, like, it's over with. Let it go, bro.
He thinks he's the only one only legend that never got their proper send off. It's a lot of people that didn't get their proper send off.
Ric Flair is the only one that got a farewell tour. They were supposed to do a farewell tour for Shawn Michaels, and it never happened.
I do have to say, and I think we can all agree. I think let's just put this out there. What they did with Goldberg and Bray Wyatt was bullshit.
Yep.
Years ago. I think
100%.
that's when I started, I'm still a fan of Goldberg. I'm still a fan of the old Goldberg, I should say, like the WCW days. I mean, he was entertaining, right? But it was hard for me to, you got this Bray Wyatt character, another one of the great characters that the Bray Wyatt, rest in peace, that he put on for us, and the fact that they had him get squashed by the move that he's talking about, and the only move he basically used in that match, it's pitiful to me that he's coming out and saying that about Asuka, because like Asuka didn't deserve any of these comments. She's going out every night and putting on one hell of a show. She's talented as all hell.
Just living her life, catching strays because he mad at the WWE brass.
Right, and it's kind of just sad, and everybody does have their opinion. I mean, Jim Cornette, let's throw that name out there, for instance. But everybody has their opinions on what happened backstage, and the fact that we're now listening in 2024 to Goldberg, who's he's 60 years old now, right? Or pushing it?
Somewhere close to it, yep.
Somewhere close to it. Like, dude, like, come on. Undefeated streak or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It just, when I saw what he said, just can't even pronounce her name right. That just, to me, just shows how out of, like, I don't know if he's still reliving the WCW days and, is still thinking like, hey, I need that last match, or if he just honestly just didn't know her name. But it just, overall, like Mike said, you give it a rest, man. You've been blessed. You're a millionaire easily. Got notoriety from the wrestling world, and a business that he helped create. Helped make bigger.
Let's be real. When he came back, how did he really look in all of the matches that he was in when he came back to WWE? Let's be real.
I mean, he was winded from his entrance.
That one Lesnar match was cold, though.
The shock, the shock one when he beat him in like a minute or so. I give you that one. That was his first match back. Cool, I get you. But post that match, none of you leave any of his matches. We're not even talking about who he went against. We know who he went against, what they had to deal with. They got to put him over. So KO, Paul Ziggler, Roman, Bray Wyatt, like anybody he wrestled in those 12 matches he wrestled. Let's be honest. Did he really look good? And did he really deserve the opportunity to have a proper send-off based on those matches? Let's be honest with ourselves.
Hey, no. Okay.
Triple H clearly looked at that and said, "Oh, you're trash in the ring. If it's not Brock Lesnar, you're trash against everybody else, and everybody else helped put you over. And yeah, you get the pop because the fans love you, but really, like, no, you did not deserve a proper send-off for retirement. No, we don't want to see it because everybody got to a point where we got tired of seeing him in matches because he just go wrestle a match and then it's over. He shouldn't have been champion. I didn't want him to be champion to begin with. Like, so him beating KO for the championship only to drop it at WrestleMania to Brock. What was the point? I'm like, he not finna go on this long ass championship run. I'm like, no.
Them was some tough years in WWE. I really, and maybe this is another pod for another episode.
Part-time heavy, man. It's part-time heavy.
But man, like 2011 to like 2020 really was tough, man. It was tough because
you had a few good years in that thrown up in there.
After Punk left,
the authority angle, it was pretty. They provided some good years.
No, it didn't. No, it did not. No, it
you ain't
did
like
not.
The Damian Bryan, movement, all that.
Nope, couldn't live without it. It's memorable for a moment, like when all the fans come in and raid the ring and whatnot. Triple H has his heart attack on the stage and they have to hold him back. You see the hamburger meat in the back of his neck curl up because he's pissed. He's like, like that's funny and all that stuff. But I mean, so Daniel Bryan couldn't stay healthy. I actually don't even like movement Daniel Bryan. My favorite Daniel Bryan is after he came back and finally got cleared to wrestle with the hemp belt and he started calling everybody out on BS. Like that Daniel Bryan to me Like
Fickle.
that's
Fickle.
top tier Daniel Bryan to me. When he started calling the fans out about how fickle they were, when they changed their minds on him and they stopped rooting for him, and that's Daniel Bryan that put over Kofi Kingston. Even though Kofi Kingston was a trash WWE champion, but we ain't gonna have that conversation. Y'all not ready for that. Listen, it ain't Black History Month no more. Kofi Kingston was a trash WWE champion. He was horrible. Listen, it was.
I don't think
He
they
didn't
ever
have
had
to
any-
lose a
I
damn
didn't-
title in 8 seconds, though, Mike.
No, they didn't
No.
have any plans for him, bro. They didn't have any plans for him. They
But have him lose it at a pay-per-view or something in like 3 minutes. Don't 8-second match for a main event on
SmackDown.
a premiere
SmackDown,
show on
yeah.
a new network. Oh yes, Fox. They hyped it up. They hyped up the match. Everything. 8 seconds. 8 seconds.
I was curious if Kofi was going to be able to step out of tag team Kofi and into WWE champion singles run Kofi, and he didn't. He kept everything the same. So I just looked at him as, oh, he's a tag team wrestler that has a world title, I guess. Versus when Big E left or got traded or drafted over to another show and left the New Day, like he was still with him, like y'all still my boys, but I got to go do my solo thing.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, and like I mean, he was the Jermaine Jackson of the group and left and did his own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like it was truly a moment for him winning that IC title, defending that IC title, winning that.
You just compared that man to
that.
Jermaine Jackson, yo.
Hey, look, man, he did his own thing, man. He did his own thing.
Oh man.
Nah, Jermaine, that's your
Motown,
thing.
Huh? Gotta say Motown. Okay.
So I looked at Big E as a main eventer. I looked at Big E as a potential world champion. Honestly, I didn't love his run either. To be quite honest with you, like, and this gonna sound crazy, and I'm not meaning to make this a race thing, but how many really good Black world champions have we had that like legit you could say like really captivated you? Obviously, The Rock is Black and Samoan, so I will honor that. Booker T is definitely the GOAT of Black world champions. Like it's got to be, like
King Booker.
Because that world title reign was legit. Bobby Lashley is after him because Bobby Lashley is a hell of a world champion. He's a believable world champion. Yeah. But I feel like WWE I feel like because the New Day had done so much for WWE in the tag team division, they all gave them what they wanted in a span of time. They're like, oh, hey, Woods, you want to be king of the ring since you were a kid, right? Cool. Here you go. You're king of the ring. You know, oh, hey, Big E, you've been saying you're a main event player for a while now. You want a world title? Cool, here you go. Oh, hey, this Hogan stuff just came out. We probably should make Kofi a WWE champion to make us look good in the company. Boom, voila. I think we have to look at a lot of this and just realize, like I said, that, and we're way off on the tangent. I don't know how we even got to this off of Goldberg's comments, but
I blame you and Claude.
What do you? Let me ask you this, because for whatever reason I feel like, because you think about all the in terms of the women superstars, like I feel like they get longer championship runs. Like the Black women, they get longer championship runs than the men get their world championship runs. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I have. I mean, like Bianca Belair, Naomi, you know, Sasha Banks. Like I feel like they. I don't know if it's a popularity thing or what. Like I feel like they just work. WWE feels like they work better as champions, longer, like long term compared to men, like Black men.
Well, here's the thing I'll say. See, I believe honestly that you never, like, the WWE Championship was the second-rate world title when each of those gentlemen held it, even Bobby. Whereas when, you know, you'd say Brock Lesnar would have it, it wouldn't be considered the secondary title, it'd be considered the title.
Right.
Anytime they've given Bianca a title, she has elevated that title to the title. It is it's the title you work towards. It's the title that you want. Whenever she wins the Women's World Championship, it will be the title. And I think that's coming sooner than we think. I think she's going to turn heel and end up beating, probably getting drafted over to Raw and beating Rhea Ripley for that title. I think Rhea beats Becky, and then Becky has to go off and find herself. You know, her and Seth take a break, both of them, for a little bit, maybe until around SummerSlam or so. But yeah, I mean, Bianca has made every title the title. She's made it the title that you want to go after and things like that. Like, I mean, people wanted to go after Kofi's title, but it was because you really realized like he might have been an easy win versus and again, that's not okay. Let me preface everything I've said about Kofi, Woods, and E. I love those brothers. I think they're entertaining as heck. I bought into the New Day gimmick when they were supposed to be a pastor and deacons in a church or whatnot. Like, I really bought into the gimmick. I love the gimmick. I love the music. That Kirk Franklin Revolution. Y'all owe him a check. You know, like I said, stuff like that. But you know, like I said, they bought me in. I just think that they needed to do a full split up before each of them got their singles runs, not keep them together. I think that's why whenever Jay and Jimmy actually do get back together, it's going to mean so much more because you're going to be like, oh my God, we haven't seen these guys in years together. Tag team, and one of the Usos, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, is finally back together. So it's going to mean a lot more, you know?
Question for you guys. How did we go from Goldberg?
Because Goldberg ain't shit. That's why. That's why.
Okay. I haven't heard.
We're talking about wrestlers that are full time and they mean a lot more to the company right now.
We definitely went off on a tangent. I'm sorry, Tank.
These two. No, I'm not at the tangent, but I wanted to hear what Fritos and Coach had to say about the whole Goldberg and Asuka comments.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
okay.
Fritos and Coach.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fritos, give us your general consensus on what you feel about Goldberg or Oldberg.
All right.
Feel free to call him Oldberg too.
I'll do it quick, but it's just bitter old man, just upset. Him talking about at least the record, the winning streak, whatever. In old sports, wrestling, football, baseball, basketball, whatever, anything, you have records. And every player's dream is to break them. Every wrestler break them. With Triple H being in here, you already saw the IC title record being broke with Gunther. I think we're going to start seeing all these records being broke, and it's going to try to get everyone like, hey, I want to break that. Because I know we talked about what happens if Roman retains past WrestleMania. He could lose it past SummerSlam, and he beats Hogan's record. I feel like he's trying to rewrite the books and, you know, make more new goals for everyone. Try to beat those records. So with the Asuka thing, it's just, you know, putting her name in the record books, and he's just bitter that someone passed him up. That's it, really.
Coach?
Yeah, I'm right there with Fritos about the records being broken and everything. And when they were booking Asuka when she first started, I mean, if you guys remember, she was a big-time free agent signing for NXT coming over from Japan. So, like, she already had this personality of, like, she is a dominant performer, a dominant wrestler. So they used that and just built on it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, Triple H, he was in charge of NXT at the time, and he booked it like that. And maybe it was their way of saying, like, okay, well, Goldberg's is a WCW record, and who cares about that? Let's set a WWE record. And it happened to be Asuka. And as much as I think that she is a great performer today, when she first came onto the scene, she was unbelievable. I bought in immediately to her when she was at NXT, and I'm still ticked that they had Charlotte beat the streak at WrestleMania when it was clear Asuka was red hot. And then they went and did politicking, and that kind of killed her momentum, and she's gotten it back, thankfully, but it's just not the same as it was. And that's what frustrates me and it's nothing against but that Asuka did. It's just like, man, what if that match went the other way? What what kind of champion, what kind of wrestler would we see Asuka like today?
100% agree. I think that, like I said, I just think, again, like everybody said, just to summarize, Goldberg is just being bitter, and it's a WWE thing. It's not an Oscar thing. And again, he has to remember that the wrestling community as a whole is very sensitive about their wrestlers, and we don't like it when you talk trash about, the people that literally haven't done anything to you, especially our women's wrestlers. Like I said, we'll defend them to the death. So nobody will be hearing from Oldberg for a little bit, I'm sure. So it is what it is. He can go.
Right, don't even know who Goldberg is. What you think about Goldberg's comments? Goldberg who? Like, no.
Leave it to C to keep it a buck. All right, so we move on, fellas. We press on through this show. The Rock, Cody Rhodes promo battle. Finally saw Cody Rhodes pull the gloves off, hit the Rock with some shots, take some shots. Because before, I feel like the Rock's just been not only physically slapping him around, but verbally slapping him around too. Talking about his mama, cutting his X/Twitter promos, Instagram promos, and everything like that, going off about his family. I mean, even Big Brother Dustin got into the act, you know what I'm saying, and pulled out tag belts and said F the Rock. Like I said, it's a lot going on. But finally, we saw Cody step up to the plate and put on his Bullet Club cufflinks, which that passed over every single WWE person in that arena, every single fan in that arena, because like I said, I popped at home when I heard that. I'm like, okay, I know what he's talking about now. All right, Fritos, your thoughts on the promo from Cody Rhodes, and then stop. Promo from The Rock first. We got a Rock concert first. The Rock pulled out his concert. However, just want to note, was pissed that The Rock didn't play the guitar himself. He's really Hollywood now because he doesn't even play his own guitar anymore. He has somebody else play the guitar for him, and he sits there on the side. Go ahead, Fritos.
He's got that Disney money. He doesn't need to play the guitar anymore.
Fair enough.
Pathetic. I haven't really looked at too much other than like clips on TikTok about the Rock stuff, so I'm not really gonna get into it. But the Cody stuff, that was intense. I know everyone talked about him wearing the black suit. Whenever he wears black, it's gonna be dirty, and god damn, starting the whole little dick syndrome with him. I'm really buying into this tag team match that we got night one. I'm really interested to see how they're going to perform against each other, and just how it's going to continue all the way up to WrestleMania.
Yep. Coach, what did you think about the promo battle between the two?
I mean, I'm right there with you, Virgil. When he said Bullet Club cufflinks, I was like, oh, this is getting good. And then silence. I was like, oh, people, that's a great reference, and you missed it. Like,
do your homework. Come on, guys.
I was like,
which,
this
to be
great.
fair,
this
I think
is
most
great.
of them are lazy about that, looking up the homework and the
Also
history
true.
on that.
Also true. But either way, I was like, yes, this is good stuff. And then that just kind of killed it for me. Like, in that moment, I was like, God, this crowd sucks. But then after that, then it was like, then his promo. I mean, this is, and I wish we saw more of this, is when the face has that heel tactic almost. It's not just being like I'm supposed to be the good guy, I can't get down and dirty. It's now it's like, okay, they're going to play dirty, I'm going to play dirty. And I wish more faces would do that. And
hey,
again,
Coach, you just wait. You give it about 5 more months. When CM Punk get back, you're going to get all of that you can handle and then some. You're going to get all the dirty tactics from a face.
I'm all for that. I just think it's, again, I started this show talking about character development, and I think that just is that character development. I mean, Friday night SmackDown, Cody says, okay, I came alone. If you came alone, and Roman's like, actually, I have people here. And Cody says, oh, I figured you did, so I got my guys with me too. That Like, it's showing that the face is not always the gullible, do the right thing. It's showing I too can play that game. And that's what I want to see more of with baby faces against heels. And obviously it depends on the storyline, but it works for this one and it's perfect.
Yep. I agree 100%. Big C, what did you think, sir? See, you muted again.
Sorry. No, we need more. We need more of this Cody, man, like that we saw on Raw. Like I love passionate Cody, like what he gave us last Monday, or not this past, but the week before last. Like that's cool and all, but it's time to take the gloves off. None of that, like enough of that, passive aggressive shit. Like we need, like you said, Bullet Club Cody. We need that from here on out. Because it's time. Like they not like Bloodline is not playing with you, Cody. Like if you keep being nice, they go, no, it's enough of that, man. Come on. So I like the promo he had on Monday night, this past Monday Night Raw. I'm like, we need more of that leading up into WrestleMania. We need more promos like that post WrestleMania. Like, come on, man. Like, because you don't want it to get to a point where it becomes stale, because crowd, like as we talked about, wrestling fans can be fickle. They will turn. And so I'm like, if you give them, if you kind of switch things up a bit, keep them interested, keep us, entertained, and like
got to give them a reason to believe.
Exactly. So I feel like if you can keep that going, it'd be great. It's cool to be, nice, passionate Cody. The political suits and all that stuff, but no, we need a little bit more edgier Cody Rhodes now. So yeah.
What about you, Tank? What'd you think?
There throughout, when we've been watching and everything, like just in terms of nowadays in wrestling, there's a time when the baby face people start turning on the baby face for being too baby face, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
it happened to AEW to him.
It happened in AEW to him. More recently, one of the biggest ones was, John Cena. As again, I'm bringing this up as a positive. It was one of those things.
Wait, pause, time out. Sorry to cut you off. This is the first episode where Tank brought up John Cena before I did. I love it. Keep going.
Anyway, but it did get to that point where it's just like, turn heel, do something heel, like do something, because heels historically have just been walked over until they're like, enough's enough, and I love Cody going out there, he referenced so many things. Bullet Club, but he also referenced, the big one that I love he referenced was, how has Rock mostly attacked Cody? It's been over Twitter, Instagram. Mm-hmm. It's been going up. There's that time when he was like, he calls me sensitive and all that. Who's the sensitive one? Cody's not cutting promos on Twitter. He's not cutting promos on Instagram. He's going out there and cutting the promos when he has to. And so I think right now, like all of you have been mentioning, this is now the time. It's time to buckle down and be like, I can be your true champion. Like I can have that face, but I can also pull the gloves off if need be, So I think right now it is, you referenced earlier, Virgil, you got that, like, anything can happen night one, anything. And I love that so many times throughout, like the big feuds we love, we know who's going to win. And so right now it's just a good time. This is going to steal night one easily.
Sure.
Possibly even be a historic match that we're going to be watching.
I agree. Yeah, no, I think the promo battle between these two, like I said, it was just great to see Cody finally take the gloves off, like everybody has said, and to literally show like, no, I got some edge to me too, because there is going to come a time where he's going to have to be in the ring, spitting promos as champ and holding his own against Randy Orton, against Kevin Owens, and against CM Punk. And he's going to have to hold his own in those promo battles. He's going to have to. He can't just be the one that you want to reach through the TV and like grab his hand and like, you can do it, Cody. Like he's gonna have to show like some edge about him and really show some fire and some vigor. So the fact that he's able to pull that promo out with against The Rock was great. Side note, I also enjoyed the face to face, like the verbal part of the face to face between Roman and Cody on this week's SmackDown. Obviously, you guys know how I feel about Roman Reigns as a promo. I still would give him a C plus, maybe B minus on his back and forth with Cody, but Cody was ready. Cody was ready for him. Like he had the shoulder shrug. You know, like I said, he was. I like how when Cody talks to you, he like cocks to the side a little bit, if you'll notice, and like he'll like do like gestures and things like that, like the sign language to show, like, hey, no, I'm like, body language is everything to me as a communications major to show, like, no, this is what I'm feeling. Like I'm not backing down. You square my shoulders up. I'm going to show you. I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to give you this verbal work. And I definitely think that Cody Rhodes did so against Roman Reigns on this past Friday night. What did you guys think of that Friday night promo, Fritos?
I thought it was excellent. On at least both sides. I mean, I know Roman's a little bit more weaker on the promos, but even then, just without The Rock, it's just him. It felt pretty good, pretty natural, and like I said, I'm excited for both matches with them, and just waiting to see what happens. Really.
What about you, Coach? What'd you think?
Yeah, I think in terms of Roman's beginning, I thought it was a little rough, but then as it progressed, because I mean, let's be honest, all he said was, "Cody, you're an idiot." Or you're a fool. And I was like, okay, that's like, original. But then as he talked about like, hey, you're the best number two, I was like, okay, that has more substance. Like I can buy into that about how, yes, you respect him, but you're still cocky about it. And I think that, I mean, I keep bringing up character development. I think that just shows the development there that Roman actually is threatened by Cody in some way, because he says, yeah, you're the best number two ever, but I'm still number one. And then Cody responding with, yeah, that's fine, but I am the one. I thought that was a good pickup there. Just good. Started out rough, but then they got to the finish line in good fashion.
I think that it was cool. I love that you brought that moment up, because what I loved about that moment is there's only one person that can tell Cody he's the number two and the best number two, and that's Roman Reigns, because he's the only one that has beaten him on a grand scale. Like I said, like Cody Rhodes just ran through everybody else, you know, like I said, outside of Drew McIntyre, but he beat Drew McIntyre as well. But like outside of that, Cody Rhodes has ran through everybody else except Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns is the only one that has the cachet to be able to say, hey, you're the best number two in the game. Tank, what'd you think about the promo battle between those two?
I think this is probably the first time, not the first time, but one of the first times that I believed Cody, you know, in terms of saying that he is the top guy. I don't know if he's said it in different ways, but looking at Roman, looking at the number one right now, and basically saying, like, I'm the one. Like, I think that statement, like Coach is saying, with that statement right there, you make it believable. After everything you said on Raw, and now you come and hit him with that, that was huge. That was a huge moment, and, you know, it's going to set the stage even further for the night too. I like how it separated. I like how they've been separating night 1 and night 2 in their promo work. I think that's huge because you don't want to take too much attention off either one of those matches, and so they've been doing a great job. And it just makes you like Cody even more with everything going on right now.
Last words on this go to Big Daddy C. What do you think?
In terms of Roman's part of the promo, I didn't really care too much for it outside of the whole referencing the Shield and him talking about, can you really trust Seth Rollins? I was in the same group with him. He betrayed us, and he's done it, betrayed other people. What makes you think you're any different, essentially? And so that kind of throws another possibility into this whole storyline. Like, is Seth doing all this just to turn on Cody at some point in time? Like, what's really happening? Because Cody has beaten Seth 3 times. Mm-hmm. And so, somebody that was trying to get Cody to choose him to go against WrestleMania, and Cody ended up switching. And then it's like, okay, there might be a little something there down the road. But that was the only part I liked about the promo. Cody was going to say what he typically says in most of his promos. So it didn't move me much. I did like the Shield reference and how that can open up the door for a Seth heel turn, at some point. So
for sure. Well, guys, moving right along then. I know there was one more thing that we wanted to touch on before we get to our favorite moment of the podcast. And that was brought up by Tank. He was like, hey guys, what do you think about main roster talents going to NXT for these random ass matches? What is the end goal in this? And I'm gonna start with Tank. Take it away.
Yeah, the one that got me, and it's the Gallows and Anderson. If I'm not mistaken, they had their match on NXT. They've been there for a couple weeks, I'm pretty sure now. But they also had a match on SmackDown, am I right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the reason why I messaged the chat that is, correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole point of NXT was to be developmental, to get the people in there, to get the crowd loving, and I think they've done a great job. Right? Currently, you got Trick, Carmelo, you got so many talent like Braun Breaker. I still don't know what they're doing with him. I think they're trying to finish off the tag team title run and then bring him up. But now, granted, bringing someone like Baron Corbin, who's historically backstage admired by like a lot of people for being a safe wrestler, knowing what he's doing, great with the younger talent. I don't see a problem with that. But was it a couple years ago you bring Dolph Ziggler down? Mm-hmm. Sorry, Nick Nemeth. Well, he was Dolph Ziggler then. But you bring him down to win the title. I didn't. And then I'm pretty sure they ended up putting on the same guy, right? That he took it from with Braun Breaker.
Yeah. Braun Breaker won it back.
So it just, I don't know. I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that.
Anybody else wanna chime in before I give my opinion on this? Or?
Yeah, I'll chime in.
Oh, you go first, Fritos.
Okay, I'll take it. So the way I see it, like I said earlier with this record stuff, like sports analogy, I see it like professional baseball when a player that's up there already, they get called back down to AAA, maybe to work on some minor kinks. For example, like you said, the OC, they haven't really been doing too much. So maybe this is their way to get them back in there, get in the groove, get that going. And then, I think this week, Alpha Academy is going right back in there. They've had a cold streak going on Raw. So maybe this is their way of just, getting them fired back up, putting back in the main, get them going again. So I think it's bringing the main back down in that sense. It's just getting them going, finding their groove, and then bring them back up when that groove's going and they're got a hot streak going on, really.
And Fritos, I'm going to kind of build off of that, but in a different route. I think it's more of bringing that experience down to teach the younger wrestlers and everything. Now, I know it might the OC, that's one thing because they've been around for a while, but the Alpha Academy, I mean, those guys are pretty brand new as well. So that one kind of confuses me some, but I guess because they are main roster talent, they can still contribute to NXT. And Tank, like you said, with Dolph Ziggler coming down, I mean, they did the same thing with Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton. They had Becky go down, and then she won the NXT title. And
Yeah,
besides just putting Tiffany more over than ever, and kind of making people turn on Becky a little bit more, because it's like, why do you have to go down to win that title? I mean, I don't really know what the purpose of that was, except if it was for people to get more over for Tiffany Stratton like she is right now. But I don't know. That one always has been puzzling for me ever since that happened.
And I was thinking about that too, because remember when NXT, like when they first rebranded away from the whole like competition format, and then they went straight to like developmental format, because they had the FCW and they basically just converted that into NXT. So when that first started, they were having some of the bigger stars, come on NXT, just to have a match or just have a special guest appearance. CM Punk did it, John Cena, Randy Orton. Trying to think who else did. It was a few other top-notch superstars that had their guest appearance on NXT, but I believe it was different then. I guess because obviously they top stars, they have no reason to be called down to the but it's just a NXT starting out at that point. It's kind of trying to get some more eyes on the product. So I think it's not the first time we've seen big stars get appear on NXT. So I think it's just different this time around. Depending on who they call, like with Becky Lynch, like you said, it was to help get Tiffany over and some of the other superstars. But some guys, they called them down just to kind of get them re-energized, kind of revitalize their their status in the company, their popularity. So, but yeah, it's not. I feel like this has happened several times before. It's just the situation just varies pretty much. So I just want to throw that in there. So
I think for me, what I believe it to be is, again, a combination of everything that you guys have said. I do think that some of these superstars do need to come and brush up on their skills, so they go back down to NXT so they can get some work in with some matches. I also think that multiple things can be true. While yes, they may need to brush up on their skills, maybe they also help elevate that developmental talent and give them a nice rub with the match and with an opportunity to work with some bigger name stars. I mean, even last night at the live event we went to, what's the name, worked with Omos, on the road, which was a really cool, like little way, almost like the $1 Million Challenge match type deal with MVP and Omos, where he give him $10,000 if he can knock him down off his feet. So, like I said, I mean, it's multiple things, as well as you also have to test these superstars to see if they're ready for the big time, to see if they're ready for being, the faces and the future of the company, because the guys that are the guys right now won't be around forever. Pretty soon, Seth Rollins will become a part-timer. Pretty soon, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, Becky Lynch will be a part-timer. Pretty soon, Charlotte Flair will move to a part-time schedule. You can't have these guys. Well, Charlotte really is part-time now when you think about it, because she gets injured for 6 months for the past like 3-4 years, So she's going for half the year, and then she come back, work, you'll win a title, lose a title, and then end up getting injured all over again. So, I mean, it's kind of been her forte for a little while. But you need to start building up those younger talents. And I think that's what NXT was always about, so that you can get them in the system and teach people the WWE way of doing things. So,
I got that. I just was more so like the whole Dolph Ziggler that, from, I guess I get the whole developing them, right? But Braun Breaker, for instance, he had momentum going. Like people were starting to know Braun Breaker, obviously they already knew him because of who his father was, but it was just weird to me having the OC wrestle on NXT and then turn around and they were, I guess, wrestling for two different tag team tournaments. You had the major one, and then you had NXT. And that's why it was just, to me, it was just kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I like the OC, nothing wrong with them, but I just, we lost here, so let's go back up and hurry up and wrestle here too.
Well, it did. To cap what you were saying, the OC actually did cut a segment after SmackDown where they said that their main focus is the NXT Tag Team Championships and Stand and Deliver. So I don't think you're going to see them on SmackDown for a while. Obviously, I think this AJ Styles LA Knight feud is going to go long.
Yeah, that's why I was about to throw that part up in there too. Yeah, go ahead.
So maybe sort of separate the AJ Styles with the and that's fine. That's fine.
And it wouldn't be a bad idea to put some known women's names back down to NXT. I love what they're doing with Candice. We have to talk about her for a segment because I crapped on her and Indy Hartwell 2 weeks ago, and I'm loving Candice LeRae turning to the bad side. Like they're gonna get a tag team title run, and it's gonna be good too. But so I mean, like I said, but I would love to see Indy Hartwell go back and fight for that. I mean, the women's division up top is too crowded. You're not taking the title off Rhea. You're not going to take a title. Like once Jade gets the title, she's going to have a title for a while. Like these women are going to have these titles. Bianca's going to have a title for a while. You still got to give Naomi another title. It's only 2 of them joints. So, I mean, like I said, after a while, and Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, and then eventually Alexa Bliss is coming back probably within the next year. Like I said, you got a lot. That women's division is stacked. So your Indy Hartwells, your Candice LeRae's, teams like that, give them a tag title run or send them back down to NXT and let them go for a main title there and get the rub. I don't see any problem with it.
Not until you bring back Dexter Lumis for Indy. That was all right. It was so simple. It was cool. I liked that.
All right. So can I get a drum roll, please? It's time for everybody's favorite segment of all wrestling shows. It is called Fritos Fave 5.
Fritos Fave 5.
Lord, thank you.
Ooh, that was sexy. I love that.
All right, Frito, what you got for us? What is your fave 5 of this week?
All right, number 5. I've got Dom Mysterio coming back to SmackDown, ruining the match with Rey and Santos. Probably set up another feud with Rey. It won't be WrestleMania. I'm assuming it's probably going to be, Backlash, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, something like that. Which I love.
Backlash.
I love it. Get
It's Backlash. Stop calling it that.
Sorry.
It's Backlash. That's it. You're not calling WrestleMania Backlash. Stop doing that. Claude knows that irritates me. All right, sorry, Fritos. Continue.
You're fine.
He did that to make me pop, bro.
Then at number 4, I've got Adam Copeland with that I Quit match with Christian Cage. I loved all the hockey references with the jerseys, the sticks, the goals. Bring out everyone, the handcuffs, then how they use the spike right in the crotch of Cage.
Janice.
He's not going to be a dad anytime soon. Good thing he adopted.
Yeah,
then at number 3, I've got Drew McIntyre. Average promo with Seth, I thought, pretty good. But what he gets me every week, that man knows how to work a goddamn phone with all the Twitter stuff. I think he can't top one. Bam, he's got a new meme. He's got a new video roasting CM Punk, roasting Seth. I love him. He is good. Then Tank, I'm sorry, but your man is number 2, and he will always be number 2. Cody Rhodes. He had excellent promos both. but only one person will always be on top, and it's Mommy. We were at that live show, and that video Rhea's going around, and dear Lord, I'm simping hard. I love
That's
her.
got to be jam, because jelly don't shake like that.
Oh, dear Lord.
Dude, I do have to say, next to Fritos and C, we were just not worthy, man. We're not worthy.
The Australian jiggle of the century. It was amazing.
I'm worthy. I am worthy.
And like going back up the ramp, dude. She like smacked her booty like 3 more times, dude.
Whoa.
Like at like the fans and
I
stuff
didn't
like
see
that.
She knows
Oh yeah, no. She kept going. She kept going. Coach, you missed it.
I know.
Yeah.
Damn
Well,
dogs.
all right. So obviously, Big Daddy C, what did you think of Frito's Fave 5 wrestlers of the week?
A-.
Woo,
Oh my God!
okay.
I've never had A- in my life. Yes.
Yep.
Hey,
A-.
all right, Coach, what do you rate Frito's Fave 5 of the week?
I'm going to give it an A- as well. I just
Woo!
I would switch. Adam Copeland should be at 3, and then just because, like you said, Fritos, all the references and everything in that match, and then come on, they were actually fighting in the penalty box.
I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's something everyone wishes happens in hockey, and I'm a big hockey fan. So I've always wanted to see that happen, like guys actually fighting in the penalty box. So that's what really got me. So really just switch Drew and
Go Blackhawks.
but I agree. Go Blues. I agree with your list.
All right, so the man and the one that holds all the keys, the one that matters the most, his opinion matters the most. I need to know from you. Tank, what do you rate Fritos Fave 5 wrestlers of the week?
Oh man, I wouldn't say it matters the most. It's better than Frito's usual shitty opinions. Let's see. You know, I'm gonna be nice. I rank that an A-. I'm gonna be.
There you go.
I think on top. I think up until last night, I would have been like, put Cody's got to be number 1.
He was till that live show.
But dude,
He pulled out the ace of spades with Rhea. Rhea is the ace of spades, man. Hey.
Rhea, not just how able she is to work a crowd too. Phenomenal. It still to this day. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. And I would rate it also an A-. Good job, Fritos.
Yay!
You did it. You accomplished your goal. But now that we know you're capable of this, now we expect it every week. You better get that list right. Otherwise,
Yeah. Don't be like Stephen A.
This is why
Don't be like Stephen A. Have a good list one week after having so many bad weeks and then go back to having a bad list.
This is why I always got F's in school. That way my expectations were always set low.
Be better than Stephen
consistency
A.
is key, Fritos. Consistency is key. Fellas, we have to wrap up this episode. Anybody got any last thoughts outside of Goldberg needs to shut up?
I guess I just have one question, especially with the viral video of Mommy going around. When do you guys think they're going to turn her face?
She already is face.
Yeah,
Bro, yeah.
So
Hey.
so usually that even on the live events, the heels will stay the heels. They'll not bump hands or sign anything. She was signing what she could. She was
Taking
fist bumping.
pictures.
She was taking pictures. I think she's face.
She's a
But
tweener.
she's that like MJF before he lost the championship. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people love him too much to hate him.
Yeah. She's
Right.
a tweener, basically.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
That's kind of what I
Yeah.
thought too, that she was more of a tweener, but I didn't know if WWE was going to like full on pull the trigger to turn her completely face, get
It's
her
kind
out
of like
Judgment Day.
Yeah,
I
it's
hope
kind of
not.
like when they tried to turn Becky Lynch heel. Well, they did, and then it didn't work because everyone loved it because everyone had been wanting her to turn heel for so long, and then it came at the expense of Charlotte, and so
darn,
it's like
Poor
all right,
Charlotte.
yeah.
Poor Charlotte.
And so it's just like, all right, crowd was like, yeah, he turned heel, we good now, So and then it just
The writers had to start working immediately after that.
Right.
They're like,
Immediately.
Double time,
Immediately.
no days off.
Right. All right. Well, folks, another great episode. Thank you so much to all my esteemed co-hosts. Thank you guys for giving me your time. Also, thank you for listening to this episode. We hope that you enjoyed it. We also want to know your opinion. You are the best part of our show outside of Fritos Fave 5, because that's my favorite. But like I said, outside of that, you got to come in with the comments. We need you guys to comment. We need to know your opinions. We want you to share. We want you to get involved and get in tune with these shows, because
email
these
us
are
too, man. Email us too.
Email us. What's our email address again? I forgot.
Let me pull it up.
Hell, send a fax, send a messenger pigeon.
Did you just bring up our email address?
1-800-WeBookPod.
Everything.
There you go.
Out, whatever.
For sure.
But
Book
it Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com.
Send us your questions, send us your comments, send us your likes, your shares. Please remember to follow us on social media. So you can follow the channel. You can follow us on Facebook. We are everywhere.
Facebook,
we appreciate
Instagram,
you guys.
X. Yep.
We appreciate you guys. Have a great week, and we might have a surprise. Stay tuned.